Welcome to another edition of Living Along the Treasure Coast. I'm your host, Mike Lund. Every week we'll be putting out different episodes of the different areas around the Treasure Coast. So don't forget to subscribe down below so you can keep updated. Today's episode is about, are you a buyer or are you just a window shopper? Hi, Mike Lund here. Once again, I'm downtown Stuart, in where the old portion of downtown is, where it's lined with businesses that have storefronts. As you can see, the businesses are lined down the street side by side with their different sides, but each of them has a storefront significant to what they're selling inside. So each of them tried to display the different merchandise that's in each store. So the businesses put in their best designs in front to entice you to walk through their doors. They show you their best products and so forth, as you can see from the one behind me with all the flowers. So what is a window shopper? Window shopping, from Wikipedia, sometimes is called browsing, refers to an activity in which a consumer browses through or examines a store's merchandise as a form of leisure or an external search behavior without a current intent to buy. Depending on the individual, window shopping can be a pastime, or it can be used to obtain information about a product's development, the brand differences, or even sales prices. The development of window shopping as a form of recreation is strongly associated with the rise of the middle classes in the 17th and 18th century, where huge glazing was put in front of the merchant's store to be able to display their items. The whole point was to entice the person walking by to see what was in the store, to get them to go through the door, to become a buyer. So even here in America later, they had the battle between the Macy's and the Gimbels and the big storefronts, to where they actually started hiring professional designers to design that storefront to entice and bring action to the store, to be able to get more and more buyers into the front doors. Traditionally, window shopping involves visiting a brick and mortar store, like the ones we've been looking at, to examine the goods on display, as you've seen through the pictures. But is also done online in recent times due to the availability of the internet and e-commerce. It says a person who enjoys window shopping is known as a window shopper. So even though the storefronts put their best product out front to entice you to go in, the same thing when you're going online and shopping. They show you pictures of a product, especially homes. If they get a professional photographer, they'll make the home look wonderful and beautiful and entice you. Or they'll get a photographer that just uses their cell phone in order to be able to show you the home. Either way, you don't really get the sense of what the home is about until you go and visit it. So it's very important that you go visit the home so you can actually see what the home looks like. When I was a child, there was a couple of things that really stood out for me when I was walking down the street. One is a storefront similar to this, except much larger, that had a giant bear inside of it. Now that bear that was in the window was shot by my Uncle Snooky when he was up in Alaska. And they came back and they taxidermied it. But it was huge, and as a 9-year-old child standing there looking at its huge claws and its big teeth, it was a wonder. You just look at it all day long through the window. And it was in the sporting goods window, to be able to get those people that wanted to go out and shoot a bear like them to go in and be able to buy a gun to go hunting. The other incidents for me as a consumer was a storefront like this that had a train set inside. I would get up to the face of the glass, look inside, and look at the wonders of that train set. The train set was decorated with mountains and houses and people and cars and streets and roads. It was like owning your own town. And you looked at that train set and you go, oh boy, you could just imagine yourself in that own little town. It was yours. And you wanted to buy that train set to make it your hometown that you can bring to your house. So when you went through the door and you went in and you got that train set and you were all excited, or maybe you asked for it for Christmas and Santa Claus or your parents bought it for you, and you opened it up that morning, that Christmas morning, and you saw the box of the train and the great locomotive and everything else on the front of the train, and you pulled it out. And what was it? It was an oval track, along with an engine and usually 3 cars and a caboose. And it went around and round. But where was the houses? Where was the mountains? Where were the streets? Where was my town? That's when I learned the art of marketing. The fantasy in which marketers put in people's minds to be able to buy their product. Now, once you get in past those doors, you become a buyer. And there's several different types of buyers. There's the bargain hunters. Now, the bargain hunters are just like my wife. When she comes to the store, the first thing she looks for is that sales rack. And she goes around that sales rack to see if there's anything in there that she wants. I joke around a lot and indicate that my wife has saved me $1 million on half-price sales. And then there's the dreamers, the people that buy beyond their budget. Those are the people that go in and want things that they really can't afford. That's why the credit card became such a success, and why most of America is in debt now because of it. Because that credit card lets you be able to make your dreams come true and buy that product that's not within your budget. Then there's the do-it-yourselfers, the know-it-alls. I know what I want, leave me alone. They don't ask for help, they don't do anything. They go straight to the product to purchase it. So I used to be like that. But as I got older, I found out it's a lot easier when I went in the store, like if I went to Home Depot or so forth, and had a screw that I needed, I would ask the gentleman in the hardware area, say, hey, I need this screw, and he'd go to the right drawer, be able to pull it out, and I'm off on my way instead of me going and digging. Even going to the auto store, you get a simple thing like a battery for my car. You go there nowadays, and there are thousands of different types of batteries. You got all different kind of voltage, you got all different kinds of longevity, you got all different kinds of sizes. So the best thing, again, is to ask the experts that know what type of battery is best for your car, and they will get it for you. That's why it's so important for you to be able to use an expert like me in order to be able to guide you through the buying process, to be able to get you your best price for the home that you want, along with all the things that check off your list, and to get you into that right home. So the question is, are you a buyer or are you just a window shopper looking through the windows? Either way, let me help you be able to make that decision on which way you want to go. Because as the saying goes, we all need help sometimes. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. So don't forget to comment below or subscribe that we can get updated information. So we'll see you next time on Living Along the Treasure Coast.